Okay, recording has started. Welcome everyone to our AMA on the 21st of March 2023. Okay, first, let's have a review on what has been incorporated in the past 2 weeks. We have released a big release just before the last AMA. Now we were adding a lot of stability improvements, and one of the major improvements was a refactoring of this whole delay system here. So in version 4.3.17, we got some support tickets quite often when an internet connectivity outage was happening, or if our backend API wasn't reachable for some minutes. These delays were able to be stuck. Which means it was able to have delayed tasks being stuck here in the running section, or even when the delay was going to 0, it wasn't taking any action because it was trying to find our API and wasn't able to start. So what we did here is we reworked the whole delay and retry engine in the background, and we added a lot of error handling for several cases, like backend API is not available, internet connectivity is not available. So basically, we should now have a very, very stable product where the delay is always updated, and even if it cannot start the task or didn't reach our backend, it will just go back to queue to wait another 2 minutes and then try to start again, and hopefully connectivity is there and our backend API as well. So this is maybe an important note, if you experience any issues of this sort, please use Ctrl-Shift-I in your bottler, which will open the developer console like this. And if you have such a stuck state, you should see such red error messages in your bottler. This one is not very important. This one is part of my development environment here. But you should see such red messages, and I'm very interested in those red messages because they give me a hint what was breaking at the time of the task wasn't able to properly restart. So this helps me the most if you take screenshots from these red messages and send them in the ticket so we can reproduce it and fix it in the future. On Windows, it's Ctrl-Shift-I to bring up this console. On Mac, it's I think Command-I, so the Mac command key and I. Okay. Yeah, and overall, just a lot of stability also when tasks are switching between running and queued. So we also had issues. Sometimes tasks were ending up in the unscheduled section here. So all these kind of issues have been properly resolved. And a very important feature, which is the most important, I think, of today's update is, as you can see here, my live feed is scrolling pretty quickly. So what we had before is we had a minimum delay of 15 seconds. So whenever there is a new task added, it was going to delay it for, yeah, you can see it for 15 seconds here. And we have reduced this delay time from 15 seconds to 1 second now. So whenever we get an instant counter bidding event pushed to NFT Butler, we only wait for a maximum of 1 second and then immediately process it. So this adds a lot of speed, especially for those who are using CTO tasks, because you can now counter bid much quicker within a few seconds, and so 1 second waiting and then maybe 3 or 4 seconds to process the bid. And if someone else is counter bidding you again, you can instantly counter bid him again. Yeah, so a lot of counter bidding speed.
I think this is overall very exciting for what state Butler is at the moment, because I think now with this huge improvement in counter bidding speed with the last patch, like also with the Pro version and the improvements that you did, we can now we have a much higher throughput, like up to 3,600 bits per hour that you can counterbid your CTOs. And now with the reduction of the time it actually takes to do an instant counterbid, so really being instant, you should really always be the highest on the CTOs that you're bidding on. And I think, especially for the ones that were bidding on very competitive CTOs and wanted to go in very small outbidding steps, competing like that, this is a huge improvement for this kind of strategy. So I believe that Butler is right now, together with the the functionality of the stop loss functionality that we have there, the trade cap, really in a really good position versus other tools in the market. So really like how things evolved in the last few weeks, and yeah, like glad that everything is so stable right now. Awesome job, Penny.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dave. Yeah, the counter bidding engine is really, it's amazing, right? I also like just sitting in front of my butler and watching the live feed. It feels very rewarding.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
basically it's the same speed as if you would loop over all CTOs in all 5 seconds, but it's way more efficient because we only loop the speed there, or we only put the throughput there where a counter bid actually is needed. So the token bidding task and everything has more space to be on full speed. So Butler is really super optimized at the moment. Like you can defend the CTOs with the counter bidding speed scaling options that you get with the Pro package. You can easily control how you want to prioritize things. So if you just say, okay, I really just care about CTOs, and you put 100 CTOs and go here in competitive or hardcore counter bidding mode, you will really easily defend them.